that's what this is about tonight. Trying to get ideas from you guys, the people that live here, the local knowledge. And so at this time, I would like to open it up for anybody to share ideas, or if you have any questions for Rock or myself about the litigation. Yes, Sam.
I'm reading the paper where the $7.29 $2 million. You said it's 32. And you're going to give Democrats to the state of Texas, which ain't going to do a damn thing with it, spending whatever they want to.
Well, Sam, I will say, I didn't say this, we're also working on the state level. I've met with Wayne Smith, our representative, and I'm traveling to Austin later this week to meet with Texas Parks and Wildlife.
You're not going to get the money back. You got $16 million. Won't do doodly crap. I live up here on Park Street. We're about half a block from where we get tied into the water house. Costs a little over $1 million if we take it to them. It'd be a lot easier if Baytown came in from the back way. They wouldn't have to get out on the highway. They won't do that either. You can go down, the people down on Clear Lake, they need to take their water and sewer on down there. And then you go over on Mammoth Drive, they got water and sewer down there to the cold and stuff like that, but around on Mammoth Drive, they don't have it. And then you got all the people over in Lynchburg, they can tie them into the thing they updated over here, the state did, but that was their state, and they had a park there, they had a disposal unit there, and they updated it in so they could take care of them houses. And then you got Buc-ee's that came in down there, and then they're building more houses out there. So $16 million ain't going to do nothing. I would like to have city water and city sewer because they ain't jeopardize my water wells and all the other people's water wells around here. Because this ain't the only site they got that's bad. They're all around us. Matter of fact, we have the 4 toxic waste dumps in the whole United States, or in the top 10 right here. You're telling me that this little company that paid it $29 million, McKinney, is that what it is? The maintenance people?
McGinnis.
Well, it ain't them. It's an international paper company owns everything. They have 750 offices. They even got them in Russia. So that $29 million ain't nothing. They made these people take the fall. So I don't know what you're going to do. You're dealing with the state, you're dealing with the county, you ain't going to get nothing done.
Well, let me answer you. Let me just respond to a statement you just made. First of all, we haven't settled anything with international paper.
Yeah, but that's who y'all should have been sued.
Well, we have sued them, and we are appealing the jury's decision in that lawsuit, and we can still make international paper pay.
But by the time you get that done, I'm 74, I'm going to be dead and gone.
I can't argue with you. This process takes time. I can't flip a switch, and nobody can do that. I mean, it's just, I agree with you. It would be nice, and it's a good idea to bring water to these communities. That's something that should be considered. I think it's a real viable proposition.
Well, see, they're the ones that jeopardized our water well. We didn't do it.
I don't disagree with a thing you said, except that we didn't settle the case with international paper.
Yeah, but see, you can't get no straight answers. And the worst person we got around this area, how do you think all these other sites got around here? Because the EPA gave them the permits. And if you think I'm kidding you, I'd go home and get you 245 pages of the rules and regulations that they got to go by.
Well, I don't believe the EPA is a permitting agency itself. TC
They
can
use
issue
a permit
permits.
for toxic waste or any other waste.
But this site was created before any permits were issued to anybody for anything.
Can I tell you something about that? I-10, highway out there, they opened that highway in 1965. But in 1964 is when they started jumping that stuff there. You know why? Because when I called the state and asked about I-10, they said if we'd have known there was a toxic waste there, we would have not put that highway through there.
Well, I certainly wish I'd had this information 3 or 4 years ago when we filed this lawsuit, but I'd be happy to get any more information like that you have that might help us in the case against international paper.
I've been digging on this now for 10 years. I can show you everything. I can take you out over. You know, we got another. You think it's just that site down there that's polluting this
spend the money, and we're gonna see what the best thing we can do with that. I have no idea.
Because you just said something, you said they're gonna make a decision in September. Why wait till September? How about tomorrow?
That's the EPA's decision I was talking about.
I mean, how about tomorrow?
What would you like me to do tomorrow? Or what would you like the county to do tomorrow?
I'll give you a solution to the problem. Like, they got 750 offices. You hire a company, get barrels, dig that stuff up, put it in them barrels. When you start right in Houston, they got 3 offices. We can take the 20 barrels, 50 barrels, and their main office in Memphis, Tennessee. So let's take them about 2,000 barrels up. It's their stuff, they should get it.
Well, I don't disagree with what you just said.
And the law says
If I could wave a magic wand and do that, I would. I would like to take that out.
I'll take it down and dump it on their steps.
Thank you.